Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. So today we have various updates, and we begin with the Ahsoka show, some really exciting news. So as we know, Ahsoka is on the 2023 slate, sometime later this year after The Mandalorian Season 3, although we don't yet have a specific release date, but it's widely believed the series is going to be promoted heavily at Star Wars Celebration in April for a summer or fall release. And in line with this, Timothy Zahn, creator of Grand Admiral Thrawn and the Thrawn trilogies, is set to appear in Paris in April for a con known as Paris Fan Festival. As some fans noted, he wouldn't do this unless it's to promote a new novel. He recently spoke about making a High Republic Chiss series, and he's had a lot of ideas in the works, but given that this is the year of Ahsoka, many are convinced he's going to be promoting a tie-in novel to the Ahsoka show, most likely to do with the journey of Thrawn and Ezra following Star Wars Rebels. As many of you know, Timothy Zahn is a legend, and it's so good to know that Dave Filoni respects his authority when it comes to Thrawn, and he probably also consulted him for the Ahsoka show, where Lars Mikkelsen, according to the rumours, is going to be playing the character in live action for the first time. And if our speculation is right, that they're doing a tie-in project, this means that what the Ahsoka show is setting up is way larger in scope than just the next chapter of her journey. It's going to set the precedence for the next stages of the Mandalorian universe, as we like to call it. For a long time now, it's been speculated that the Mandalorian is building up to something big, a showdown, a climactic event that is akin to an adaptation of Heir to the Empire, but with these characters instead of those from the books. And if this is true, the role Ahsoka is going to play is bigger than we realise at this point. According to Making Star Wars, Grand Admiral Thrawn is doing something in the new beyond the known galaxy has no idea of, something enormous which is yet to be seen. There are going to be some symptoms, some hints, some clues, but overall it's secretive. It's not related to Moff Gideon or the Remnant, but rather it's a cultivation of power, magic, and military resources in the form of the Night Sisters. His previously known aims of aiding the Chiss ascendancy and protecting his own interests might just be part of it. There's more, and a lot of this could be due to whatever he and Ezra went through on their journey to the unknown after Star Wars Rebels. And their journey on the Purgle, according to Making Star Wars, is not going to be explored in the Ahsoka show. When we find these two, they've been separated for a long time. Big spoiler warning, but Thrawn is going to send Balon, a rogue ex-Jedi, and Shin, his apprentice, to assassinate Ahsoka and Bridger. A lot of the finer details are unknown though, and a tie-in novel from such a classic Star Wars writer would be more than welcome. I'm so excited about this. Now I should make it very clear guys that when it comes to this book stuff, it's all just speculation. Zahn could be working on something very different, but a book that is Ahsoka related is a pretty good guess, given that he probably was consulted about the direction to take Thrawn in, and being on set on the Ahsoka show probably gave him a lot of ideas for his next project. And if that's the case, I think the Thrawn we're getting in the Ahsoka show is more like the original depiction that we read in Heir to the Empire. He was pretty similar in Rebels, but in live action, it's much easier to get the nuances right. And I should say that now the Battle of Endor is over and Palpatine is dead, he doesn't have to fake his loyalty. He was only using the Empire's resources to advance his own goals, and before the Making Star Wars leaks came out, I would have told you that Thrawn is not a villain. He's not evil or nefarious, just well calculated and advancing what he thinks is the best for his people. But him tampering with magic, sending more assassins to kill our heroes, and his ultimate quest for power in the Mandoverse is turning him into a villain, one that is much more intelligent and dangerous than the other Imperials in the galaxy at this time. As a tactician, he is always one step ahead, and just the sheer magnitude of the scale of what this show is doing could have some very wide-ranging ramifications on the direction of the Star Wars franchise. It's worth noting that the budget on Ahsoka was larger than for The Mandalorian Season 2, and Season 3 even more than those. So in a way, we are witnessing the build up to the climax of Filoni and Favreau's visions, and where that's going to lead. This is so important because whatever is being established is going to have long-lasting effects on future stories. And Thrawn aside, Ezra aside, Ahsoka herself is going to undergo a meaningful transformation. She's going to have her white robes, and they're finally going to explain the true nature of her place in the Force, which I think is going to be greater than the Jedi and the Sith, or any other known manifestations of the will of the Force. There are some really awesome concepts to look forward to. And so now my dear friends, let's move on to Star Wars movies. It's been a few weeks since the last time we spoke about new updates, but today we have two. Let's begin with yet another Star Wars movie that's been announced. This is from Bespin Bulletin. Writing and producing partners Dan Hernandez and Benji Samit are reportedly working on an upcoming Star Wars movie. They're probably best known for their work on Detective Pikachu, but they also did The Addams Family 2, as well as a lot of TV productions, including Central Park, The Tick, and most recently Koala Man, to name a few. Deadline, who originally broke the news, shared no further details, but they do speculate the project with the codename Ghost Track 17 could in fact be their movie. Ghost Track is meant to be a Mandoverse era project, but you never know, that was just a rumour and it could be their film. And given the kind of things they've done in the past, I wonder if this movie could be Grogu related. Could it be a standalone Grogu film? It's definitely not lost on Disney and Lucasfilm just how popular Grogu is. And if they do decide to do a spin-off about our favourite little green guy, that could end up being very popular indeed. Now, just like a lot of directors who are lined up for an upcoming Star Wars film, this movie is a very long way away from production. It might not even happen, but the next Star Wars movie to release is in 2025, written by Damon Lindelof and directed by Shawn Levy. But yet another director with an upcoming Star Wars film is Shawn Levy, executive producer on Stranger Things. In a brand new interview, he's opened up about what he wants to do, and aside from his impressive resume, there's a very good sign in this interview that he acknowledges the problem with Star Wars on the movie side of things in recent years, and how he doesn't want to squander his opportunity. He wants to do right by this franchise. Here's what he said. Levy expressed how excited he was to work on Star Wars. He realizes just how much pressure there is on him, and any filmmaker who's given this chance. In his own words, he said, "I have this golden ticket into a galaxy far, far away, and I'm going to devote myself to developing a screenplay that gives me the privilege of making this movie. I don't attach to things because it looks good in a trade announcement. I attach to things I intend to make." He says, "And you better believe I'm not going to squander this juiciest of opportunities. I'm going to work my ass off. But first, I got to work my ass off on making Deadpool, so it's definitely longer term planning. But I want to be one of the movies that gets to the starting line, because these are rare opportunities, and I want to make the most of it." Levy then gives credit to Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. He says, "I've been talking with Kathy for a while now, and she's been aware of my passion for this franchise for a long time. The stars finally aligned, and she came to me and was like, let's do something here, and that's as much as I can say. But this is definitely development and not yet close to prep, so there's a lot of work to be done. Now I reckon, guys, based on his comments of Kathleen Kennedy going to him, this project is High Republic, because she did say back in October that she wants to do more with live action High Republic things after The Acolyte. So this is probably going to be a High Republic film, maybe one that ties into the books, the comics, and maybe even the Quantic Dream project Star Wars Eclipse. So share your thoughts on this and everything we spoke about in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Look out for tomorrow's video, where I'll be talking about the Mandalorian Season 3 final trailer, which drops tonight. May the Force be with you always.